My whole family ignored me until they found out my grandfather left me everything. I grew up in a family where I always felt invisible. No matter what I did, it was never enough. My cousins were the golden children. My siblings were praised for every little thing. And well, I was just there. Every holiday dinner, I would sit at the table quietly while everyone else laughed and bonded. If I tried to join in, they ignored me. If I shared an accomplishment, it was brushed off like it didn't matter. Deep down, I wondered if I'd ever be seen. The only person who ever truly cared about me was my grandfather. He was the kind of man who didn't say much, but when he spoke, you listened. He would call me into his study and ask about my dreams, my goals, and what I wanted in life. Sometimes we'd sit together for hours without saying a word, just enjoying each other's company. He made me feel like I wasn't invisible. But when he passed away, I felt like my last anchor in the family was gone. I expected the usual, more silence, more being pushed aside while the rest of them carried on as if I didn't exist. And that's exactly what happened. No one checked on me. No one asked how I was coping. It was like losing him wasn't enough. They had to remind me that I didn't matter to them either. Then came the reading of his will. I didn't even want to go. I thought, why bother? It wasn't like I'd get anything. My family made it clear they thought I didn't deserve anything. But I went, out of respect for him. The lawyer began reading. He listed gifts for my aunts, uncles, cousins. Everyone seemed to get something. And then he paused. He said my name. My heart dropped. I braced myself for some tiny token, maybe an old book or a watch. Instead, he read words that I will never forget. To my grandchild, the only one who ever truly spent time with me without expecting anything in return. I leave everything, the house, the land, the accounts, everything I built in my lifetime. I entrust to you. The room went silent. I could feel every pair of eyes on me, shock, anger, jealousy. My family, who had ignored me my entire life, suddenly looked at me like I was the most important person in the room. And that's when everything changed. The same people who never invited me to family outings started calling me non-stop. The same relatives who dismissed me were suddenly full of compliments. We always knew you were special. You deserve this. We're so proud of you. But here's the truth. They didn't love me. They loved what I now had. It was a painful realization, but also a freeing one, because for the first time in my life, I didn't need their approval. My grandfather had seen me. He had valued me. And he had made sure I would never again be overlooked. Sometimes I think about the irony. I spent years begging for scraps of attention from people who didn't care, when all along the only person who mattered had already given me more love than they ever could. So yes, my life changed after that day, not because of the money, not because of the inheritance, but because I finally understood my worth, and no one can take that away from me.